Well, welcome to the podcast, Chanla. I am so happy to talk to you.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yay. Okay, so we have a lot of awesome things to chat about today. To kick things off, just tell everyone, who you are and what the hell you sell and what is your company.
Yeah, so my name is Chanla. I am an esthetician of about 14 years, and I have an award-winning plant-based vegan skincare line that I formulate, make, and ship all throughout the United States. It's all made in small, fresh batches. And so when you're getting your skincare, it's just days old typically. And that's what I do.
Wow. So I definitely am a skincare lover. I have a couple companies that I've pretty much been using their products for a couple years now, and I have a hard time like sometimes venturing out, but I do venture out. I do venture out. I do try new things, and I love skincare. I'm old and I have to use like 7,000 million products
Stop.
to not look old. Uh,
Whatever you were doing is working because you look young to me.
oh geez, thank you. I feel like you have to I feel like you have to say that, but that's okay. But thank you though.
No, no, no. I
I'm
did. I've
sure.
seen so many faces all day long, and I'm like, oh,
I do feel like when I see other people that I went to high school with or something. I mean, I'm from Boston, so I don't actually physically see them, but I'll see them online or on social media. And I sometimes
right.
think like, okay, I'm taking care of my skin as best as I can. And like, I sometimes will compare and say, okay, I definitely don't look as old as that person. So, okay, cool.
Yes, and I think skincare can definitely help with that a lot. And then like I see people who drink heavily and smoke a lot, and you
Mhm.
can see in their skin, even though like you're the same age, you're like, oh, okay, like I am taking care of my skin, I am taking care of my health, and
Yeah.
getting out there. So I think
God.
that does make a big difference.
Definitely with smokers. I mean, I don't even want to start the podcast here, like insulting people with habits. However, I mean,
You
you can
can
tell like
totally tell.
smokers, they have like that ashy skin.
Yes,
Um,
yes. And then like yeah, it's just there's you can tell they're heavy smokers, that their skin shows it.
yeah. Oh my God. That's so interesting. I can imagine just like a dentist or like a dermatologist who does gross things with people's skin. I can imagine you see all sorts of interesting things. I would also say too, like people that go to estheticians for facials and things,
Hmm.
I would assume people who actually do care about their skin. So hopefully you don't see too many like gross things, but I can imagine like
Right.
interesting
Right.
people
I feel like when
who
people are
might be your
paying,
opposite.
yeah, yeah, over $100 for a facial, $150 that they're doing, what they can to take care of the skin outside of the facial. So
Yeah.
hopefully not doing much damage.
Oh my gosh, so funny. Okay, cool. So you've had all this experience being an esthetician. You love skincare. I would love to just start off with what made you start your business? Like, what was the moment when you were like, you know what? I'm going to start my own brand. What did that look like? How
Yes.
long ago was it? Walk us through all the things you want to share.
Okay. Yeah. So it's kind of a long story. So my skincare journey started when I was like around 10, and I had like really cystic, painful acne,
Oh,
and it was a big struggle. Like my nickname was Pizza Face. It was red, inflamed,
oh,
greasy.
oh.
I got comments on it all the time, and I was already like a shy kid. So throw
Mhm.
in acne, and it was hard. So then I remember just, going to school with it, middle school, high school. My mom took me to the Clinique counter, to all the counters, to dermatologists, where they gave me like chemical peels, but they didn't do anything for my skin. Like they didn't do anything for the acne. It was just like kind of soft on top. So I
Mhm.
was had this like bad relationship with skincare. Like it never worked for me. Then we tried
Mhm.
Proactive and Myriad as years went on, and nothing ever worked. And when I was 18, I got a job at a salon and spa out in the area, and their esthetician took me in and was giving me, facials, and she gave me proper at-home care. And I realized like the at-home care she was giving me wasn't like all for acne. I was like a little surprised by that because everything I had used in the past was just all geared towards acne. Um,
Mhm.
and when I realized she was using gentle products and gentle facials, my skin transformed. So that's when I became obsessed with skincare. And I was like, wow, this stuff is amazing. Um, and then in October, they had like this pumpkin mask contest where they're like, okay, you try and sell these pumpkin masks, we'll give you $1 per mask. And at that point, like I was like a guest service representative and I hardly made any money. So I was like, yes, a whole dollar. Like, that's amazing. So then I loved the pumpkin mask and it was a really busy salon. So everybody that came through, I would try and sell them a mask. And I was selling anywhere from 20 to 30 a day, whereas the people next to me were selling 1 to 3 a day. So I was pumping those pumpkin masks out, and it was when the contest was done. I had the most pumpkin sales in the entire company. So they're like, "Do you want to come to makeup?" And I was
Wow.
like, "Sure." At that point, I was just wearing a little bit of eyeliner and like matinee Maybelline mousse for my foundation, and that was it. And
Wow.
so I was
I
like,
remember
okay, let
that.
me go into the makeup world. And so that's when I transitioned over into makeup and, did that for a while. And I liked it, but I really missed like the skincare part of it. So then I ended up enrolling into aesthetic school, did aesthetics, worked as an esthetician doing facials. And then I worked at like a major cosmetic retailer, left there, worked there for a while, left there when my daughter was 1 and my son was 3. And then I was home and I was like bored and just like, oh, I kind of miss seeing my customers. And like I was always mixing things even as a child, like baking, and even like in all the stores I worked at, I was always like mixing products together, like mixing a mask with a serum and just always like concocting things. So then I was like, okay, let me try to make a serum or like a clay mask. And so that's what I did. I just was kind of looking, researching, playing with ingredients, and then came up with a serum and a clay mask. And one of my pickiest customers, like that person that's really hard to please, never like likes anything, was like, I love this serum. And she's like the first one to buy it. She's like, what else do you have? And I was like, wow, if Paula likes the serum, that means like I really have something here, because she's not somebody just to say that she likes something just to
Yeah.
say that. She's like a very honest person. And so that was the moment I knew. I was like, okay, I should start a business. I sold it on the side for fun, but then I was like, I should do this. And so that's with that, I took that and I ran with it, and have come a pretty long way since then.
Wow. And then you said, what year was this? Was it
No,
2006?
so this was a long time ago. This was let's see here. My daughter, this is like 10 years ago.
Okay.
So I started formulating about 10 years ago, and I've been in business for 8.
Okay. Oh, wow. That's amazing. And that feels long
Thanks.
in the business world. I mean, I know they say, oh, most businesses fail after 5 years, blah, blah, blah. But for e-commerce, I don't know the timeline of like the average store, but I would say it's just a couple years. I think people
No,
get
I agree with you. I feel
happy
like it,
with it. Yeah.
yeah, have seen a lot from the time that I started. People start and then end up, not as long as I am. Or
Yeah.
maybe if they are, like we're doing it together. But I feel like, yeah, 8 to 10 years is a long time in the e-commerce world.
Absolutely. So that's amazing. Congratulations. I definitely
Thanks.
have my eye on one of your products that I definitely want to try. Um,
Ooh.
so I want to talk about kind of how you've sort of built a brand that customers are obsessed with and like a cult like brand. But walk us through, I'm just personally curious, and I know other people would probably be curious too. So you've created a brand, you've been in business for 8 to 10 years, you have these great products. What do you feel like from your early days is what do you think like one thing that you did in the early days to kind of get you to like that next level of business where you do get customers who are loyal, who come back, who buy more from you, who are obsessed with you? What do you think you did in the early days to kind of set up your business for that?
I think I really showed my gratitude to each and every customer that purchased from me, because they didn't have to. They could
Mhm.
have gone to Ulta or Sephora, because back then, like small brands weren't, indie skincare brands weren't big, they weren't popular. So I really wanted to let those people know that I really appreciate them. So I would write them, and to this day, I still write thank you cards, but I would, with each order, I'd write a thank you card. When I saw them, I would thank them. And I think just showing that I truly appreciated their, you know, coming to me for their product, And so I try to make them feel special. And anytime they would comment on like a Facebook post back then, I would make sure to comment back. So I was always very engaging with my following, and I still am. And I think that took me very far. Just like the little things like using their name, responding like, thank you so much, Carrie. Like, so happy you love it. Just
Mm-hmm.
making people feel special. And I think humanizing them made such a difference versus going to Amazon or going to a store and just picking something up and leaving. I, made sure to thank them. So I think that took me really far.
Oh my gosh, so much to unpack because this is definitely like one of my new favorite topics. Just I wrote a new book and it's called
Yes, I got
Perfection, and I
it.
basically like what you just said is basically what my entire book is about. It's those small things that anyone listen, not you, but like someone listening might overlook as like, oh, no one cares if, and then you insert the thing. No one cares
Mm-hmm.
if I write a handwritten note. No one cares if my packaging sucks. No one cares if I don't respond to a Facebook post. But I think they fucking do care. And what you
For
just
sure.
said, like literally what you just said, is exactly why I wrote that book in the first place. Because I think if you are trying to stand out in a saturated space, which
Mm-hmm.
most things are in a saturated space. I mean, skincare,
Yep.
there's a million things that you can buy from. You can go to
So many.
Sephora, you can go to Amazon, you can go to Target, you can go to like a CVS. You can also
Yep.
find a million products online, but like, why would someone buy from you? And then, most importantly, why would they keep buying from you? Why would they keep coming back to you? And like what you said right there, and I want to kind of unpack that in a minute, but like the commenting on the Facebook post, the writing the thank you notes, making them feel special, that is stuff that is not intuitive, I think, to most people who are starting companies. They just think, oh, no one cares about all those other little things. They just want their product or whatever. But I really feel like people do care. And that's how I built my first business, where I made customers feel so special when they bought the pet brand I had.
Mm-hmm.
um, it was a super saturated space, but I made sure that people felt super special and felt connected to the brand, and all those things with customer experience. I really implemented it and I took seriously from day one. And I 100% attribute that to the reason my business succeeded and didn't fail, because of those small things. So I
You
love that
did those small things that go so far for those people. And I think it does make and people appreciate it. They're like, wow, Carrie wrote
yeah,
me this thank you card, like this big
yeah.
brand. Like, even if we weren't big in the beginning, like they still think it's like such a big deal to them. And I think you're right, where a lot of companies are kind of missing that part. And even the big companies, like,
Oh yeah. I think especially big companies. I'm sort of going on a tangent here, but let's talk about it. So I ordered lip balm from Summer Fridays. I know everyone's obsessed with them, and I was like, oh, I'll
yeah,
try them. I really like their pack. I think their labels and packaging are pretty. And I ordered I think it's like lip butter or whatever, butter balm or something.
yeah,
And it just came in like an ugly brown box. There was no insert, no nothing. And I was like, you know what? That's disappointing, Summer Fridays. I expected more from you, okay? Especially with
yes,
your pretty aesthetics and your vibe and all that. And then you get this boring ass box. It's like, it's the
yeah.
Amazon experience. So I personally I was going to do a video on it, and then I actually just forgot. And then I just threw the box away. But like, that's disappointing. Yet this small
It
business
is.
is making the effort to do branded packaging and inserts, and they probably are wasting $1 million throwing in extra stickers and this kind of thing. And then these bigger people, what's the brand from the girl from, I can't think of her name right now. The girl from I forget the show, Stranger Things. What's there's a beauty
Oh,
brand,
Millie?
something by Mills. Oh, Florence by Mills.
Okay, okay.
Same thing for
I
that brand.
haven't.
I ordered something because I'm like, I am obsessed with lavender. And if you have a lavender product, I'm probably going to buy it because I love it. And I was like, I need to see what their
Yeah,
experience is going to be like when I order. So I order on their website. It shows it on my doorstep. Like literally counting down the seconds till it arrives. I open it up and it's
yeah.
the same thing, like ugly brown box with just the product. Like
How
no insert,
disappointing, especially like
no nothing.
you're probably so excited. The Instagram's probably beautifully curated. The packaging looks
Yeah.
pretty on the website, and then you get it. And you think, especially with her being like the president running it, that it would be like she's young, she's into like
Yeah.
probably beautiful packaging, and then like it's just a brown box.
Yeah, they did put stickers in, and I was like, "This is feels useless. Like, why do I want your stickers?" But
Yeah,
I'm not trying to
right.
hate on anyone either. You guys know I'm honest, and I'll just say if someone's packaging is horrible. I just was disappointed because I think they should do better. I think they
Yeah.
should be doing better. So
Especially
anyway,
when they're charging, like $30 a lip gloss or something.
yeah, no, totally. So anyway, little tangent. I do love dissecting packaging and like what they can. I feel like I need to do a podcast episode where I like do unboxings for a couple. The thing is, I don't like to say anything bad about small brands. I have no problem saying bad things about bigger brands
The
because
big brands,
what
yeah.
I say doesn't matter. But like a small brand, I would never say, "Oh my God, Chanla Chau Cosmetics packaging is
Well, unless they're like sending it for like, if they want you to do, what do they call that? Like a consult, like, hey, this is what I would change about this.
Yes, if it's like solicited or something. But I do,
Yeah.
if you notice, I actually never say anything bad about small brands just for that reason because I would never. I don't know. It's like there's a balance between giving feedback that's constructive on a live channel where people can listen versus like if you DM
Right.
me on Instagram and say, "Hi, can you give me your feedback on my packaging?" and I'll
Right.
I'll probably rip you a new one, but I wouldn't say that on my
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're like, this all has to change.
Yeah, but I like the idea of doing some sort of podcast, not podcast, packaging kind of audit. So, okay, so let's
Yeah,
kind of
that'd
go
be
back to
fun.
your brand because that's why we're here, not to talk about Summer Fridays. So, you launched your business, you're getting some traction. What is your like hero product or like your cult? I love when people say cult. Here's a cult favorite. I
Yes.
love that. What is your cult? What's the cult favorite of Chanla Chau Cosmetics?
Yeah, so I would say that it is the superfruit night treatment. It is a natural alternative to retinol. It comes in this beautiful blue color. It's just very luxurious. The container's beautiful. It's got like this bamboo top, frosted glass. It's just very pretty. And then you use it and it smells good, it feels good, and then you get results. So I think it does really well. That is definitely my top seller. I launched it last year and I had
Hmm.
like this big launch party for it, not knowing what to expect. Kind of just threw it out there, didn't know what I was doing, threw the party and did like $10,000 in like 2 hours. So it was,
Wow.
yeah, it was pretty amazing. And since then, that product people keep buying it. They come back for more. They're replenishing every 3 months. And then when people are coming to my line to maybe try something, that's something that they might go. I've noticed people are just going straight for that. And that's a higher ticket item compared to
Hmm.
the other things in my line, but people are liking it. So there's that. And then the serum does really well. And so the moisturizer and then the cleanser. But I would say the night treatment is like my superstar.
That's amazing. And so I know that you've been in business for a while, but like, you know, I don't hear a lot of people doing like a launch party for a new product, which I love. I think if you have the audience for that, that's amazing. What made you decide to do that? Did you learn about that from like a podcast or like what made you think I want to do like a launch party for this? And I love that
No, it
because
was
you're
it
already
was
treating it as a superstar product from
yes,
doing
yes. So I
that.
like was building that. So I knew I was gonna, obviously launch a new product on my website, but then I was like, maybe I should have a party for it, a small party. And so the idea, I like to plan things, plan parties, and so I thought it would be fun to have this little skincare launch party. And so I like asked in my group of friends, I was like, where should I have it? And kind of trying to think of like a space. And then my friend was like, you can have it at my restaurant. And she's got this gorgeous venue. It's a restaurant. It's called the Graceful Ordinary. It's right on the river. As soon as you walk in, like walking up to it, it's just like grand and beautiful. The decor, the smell, like no detail left unturned. Like they did an incredible job. It's actually the top restaurant in the Chicago suburbs. I think they won like number one restaurant. So it's really, you'll have to check it out. It's beautiful. Um, and so having it there, I think was like drew in a lot of people because it's just such a beautiful venue. It's different. So I was excited to have it there. And I was like, okay, let's do this. And probably didn't plan it the best because I didn't know what I was doing. And so like I was making the product, I made other skincare, and then didn't have, I had people RSVP, but still didn't know exactly how many people, oh, bless you, were coming. But they came and they showed up, and I had like 80 people come. So
Oh,
I was like shocked.
wow.
I was very surprised about having the 80 people, but I really like built up the product while I was formulating it. So people were excited about it.
That's amazing. And that's definitely amazing that you got that many people to come. I think for
Thanks.
like an in-person thing, that's huge. Talk
Thanks.
about the build up, because that's a really important thing when you are either launching a business or growing a business, taking your customers and your audience like behind the scenes with you as you are
Mhm.
creating something new, I think is such an important thing. And I see a lot of people not doing that. So great job doing that. But like, what were you doing
Thank
to kind
you.
of like get buzz or build traction for that product?
Thank you. Thank you. So it took me 3.5 years to formulate this little baby. So long time. And so I kind of announced, hey, I'm working on an anti-aging night treatment. So I threw that out there, 3.5 years ago prior to releasing it. And as like, maybe like the year that it was coming out, when I was doing more sneak peeks and I said, hey, I've been working on this. I started a Facebook group that said, hey, I'm looking for testers. And so I was already getting my testers involved. I was asking, polls like, hey, what are your main concerns? So I wanted people to be really part of it and feel like they were helping me formulate this product with me. And as I was making it, I was, letting them in on skincare ingredients. I was like, well, this is going to have apple stem cell extract in it, which is like an anti-aging, anti-wrinkle. And I would tell the story behind it. So I'll tell you really quick because it's pretty cool. So these apples are from the Swiss Alps, and people were noticing all these apples were dropping, and they realized that this one species was not rotting like all the other ones. And so scientists came in and did the research and realized that this particular apple greatly delayed the aging process. So they're like, okay, this is amazing. It is greatly delaying this. So then they extracted it, and they turned it into apple stem cell extract. And so now we're seeing that in skincare and hair care, and it like does at like a 2% emulsion, which I have it in. It is known to actually like slow down wrinkle formation and actually like take some away. And there's studies have shown it, and you can see the pictures and everything. So it works. And so I was letting people know about this like new ingredient, and I'm using it, getting people super excited. And same thing with like the main ingredient, bacachil, like that was a newer, hot ingredient. It is a natural alternative to retinol. And I say, if you're sensitive, you can use it. Hey, my sensitive skin people, which a lot of people are. And so I was just letting them in on it. And then I was also letting them in on the hard things too. So not just like the fun stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh, I tried making this emulsion today and it just did not work out. It's so disappointing. And so it wasn't just all rainbows and butterflies. And I think that goes a long way too, showing people like, I just wasted like an entire batch because of this, or this, I tried mixing this and it didn't work out, and fingers crossed for the next time. So I think letting people in and, going along with me. And then when I had it, I was, doing glimpses every now and then. And then I think like just 2 months before I like planned this party so quickly. I was like, okay, in like a month and a half or 2 months, I'm gonna have the skincare party. Come on, and come on over. Um, and so building up with the product and then showing people like how beautiful this venue was. And back then I was kind of scared about the party. So I had only posted on Instagram once and then Facebook once. And I still had 80 people come. So, I thought that was pretty cool. And then, so I'm doing another skincare party like beginning of December. So tickets are already sold out. So that should be a lot of fun too.
God, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
thanks.
Wow. That's awesome. I love that.
Thanks.
Yeah, I feel like you shared so many good things, but I think just like a summary or whatever, just to for people listening, is like take people behind the scenes of your journey with you. And I think,
Yeah.
you think it's the boring things like, oh, no one cares about how I'm packing orders or like my day to day and things like that in the background when you're building a business. But those really are the things that humanize your business and they create connection.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, okay, now I want to see, and you can like leave people on cliffhangers like, okay, tomorrow I'm going to be mixing up my emulsion with this cool anti-aging apple ingredient, and let's check it, let's see how it works or whatever. So be
Yes.
sure to check out my stories tomorrow. So, you can really take people behind the scenes, and then you can take that content and you can literally save it. You can put it on Pinterest, you can put it on, make YouTube videos, send it to your email list. So you can really
Yeah.
repurpose content and create that humanization that I think is what's missing from a lot of brands today. So I think that's amazing that you're doing all that cool stuff. And you've
Thank
definitely,
you.
I'm definitely going to order, because I was like, I want to kind of, I definitely love, I already told you I love skincare and I like, trying new things, even though I do have like my core products. I definitely need to try the cream that you were talking about, because that sounds awesome.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good one. I
Yeah.
love that one.
I love it. So talk about, I feel like you mentioned a few things about how you're taking care of your customers and making them feel special. I'm just going to ask this question. Why do you think you've built a cult-like brand? Like, what do you think it is? Is it the product? Is it the person behind the brand? Is it just the whole thing? Like, what do you think makes your brand a cult-like brand?
It's a good question. I feel like it's so weird to be like, oh, it's me.
I'm
It's
putting you
me.
on the spot.
I'm the reason why. No,
No,
I do feel. I do
definitely
feel like
deep.
it's, a little bit of everything. I think like making the people feel special because there's people there that have never met me. Like now I have so many
Mhm.
open orders. They've never met me, but they're still ordering. And I feel like it's all the little things. So I'm showing up on social media more. I'm sharing my story. So people are wanting to see, the behind the scenes. So I'm letting them in on that. And then in person events, I'm meeting the people, which I did not like doing before because I didn't know how to do in person events. So I would do all this hard work and like make $55. um, but I've changed some things thanks to UPP. Went to UPP and I sat at Dale's table and he like had some great tips. But I think just a little bit of everything. I would say, making sure people are thanked, the handwritten notes, the social media, the engaging with the people, messaging back and forth with them. I've personally invited people to in-person events. I think that's big too, like reaching out to certain customers who say like, oh, I knew this customer lived in this town that I'm having an event at. I'm like, hey, I know you like live in this area. And she's probably like, wow, like she remembered where I lived, So I think like that is important. And like for my skincare party last year, I sent that to some people and they're like, well, if Chanla's invited me, then I have to go. And so I think just putting that extra effort out there makes a big difference. So just like all the little things.
I love that. I love that so much. And it really is. I do think it's the small things that make a difference. And when you remember customers' information and you can be like, hey, I remember your order and I know that you live in blah, blah town.
Yeah.
People love that stuff. I mean,
Yes.
literally the reason I live, this is like a really side tangent story, but like literally the reason I live in the town that I live in today is because of a customer from my first business. So there was a customer who they were a long-term customer. All I knew about them was their name and their address, and that their dog was a size large. I didn't know any other information, but
Yeah.
they called me one day and they were like, this is blah 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 from Gig Harbor. We live in Gig Harbor, Washington, which is where I live now. And they were like, our dogs love the box. Like they just basically started the conversation off with how much they loved the product and told me about how, their two kids were the ones who were, they loved dressing the dogs up in the bandanas. And this story is like etched in my memory forever. Because I
I
didn't really
love
ever
this
have
already.
customers that called. I don't even know how they actually found my phone number, but they did. And they called, and, it wasn't like a business number, but that's okay. Unprofessional,
Yeah.
but that's okay. But and then fast forward, I ended up moving to Seattle, and then we were like, we needed to move out of our townhouse during COVID, and
Uh-huh.
I was like, oh yeah, that customer lived in Gig Harbor, and I heard from someone else that it was pretty. Let's go check it out. And we like
Yeah.
rode into this town, and I was like, oh my god, this place is so beautiful. And we ended up buying a house there. And it's maybe
That
not
is
because of the
amazing.
customer, but kind of like I would have never said, oh, let's go to this town if my customer hadn't called me. And then because of that, I remembered that customer,
Yes.
blah blah blah. So the point here is like knowing your customers and knowing, just remembering things and being like, hey, I remember you emailed me saying that your skincare, or I don't know, like your skin was dry, and we have a new product and I think that would be a great fit for you or something. Like people love to be remembered. People love to
Yes.
feel that you as a brand give a shit. That's
A
it.
hundred
Short.
percent.
Like, give a
No,
shit.
I think that is so cool, and I love that you remembered this town. But it was like you wouldn't have known if it went for this customer, and I'm sure this
Yeah,
customer probably like
totally.
lose their shit when they're like, "Oh my gosh, the owner of the Dapper Dog Box is like coming to live in this town now." You know, it's like they probably think that's the coolest thing ever, and like
So
celebrity
funny.
status, like wow, like I'm so cool. You
I've
know?
never even told them that I moved here either. Because at
Oh,
that
that's
point
too
I
funny.
had sold the business years prior, but
Okay.
they always just stayed in my memory. And to be honest with you, I remember my first customers for my business. Like I can remember when I had my a Dapper Dog business, they would have to fill out a profile, which again is a
Yeah.
big no-no. Don't make your customers fill out a profile before they pay you. So that was my mistake. But I remember the first few people that ordered from me. I remember where they live. I remember their dog's name. I remember their Instagram handles. It's like they're etched in my memory forever. And I think when you care that much about your customers, you will grow a business. Like you'll figure out how to make it work because I just think you have to have the customer first mentality and
Mm-hmm.
you have to, and if you don't have that at the beginning, you're never going to have it if you scale your business. You're never going to care about your customers then. So as early on as
Agree.
you can care and treat them well and, you know, do those small touches that you have been doing from day one, like think, you know, just showing appreciation for ordering, you know, putting notes in their orders. I think that's a huge one. And I do see a lot of people doing that, which I think is awesome, but that's a really easy thing to do. Like
Yeah.
spending 10 seconds and being like, "Thank you, Susan, for ordering. We're so grateful for you. Let us know what you think about
Yes.
the product." It doesn't take you long and you've made that customer feel like, "Oh wow, they wrote me a note. How cute is that?" And then what
Yes. And
happens?
they'll take a picture of it. And
Yes, or they remember you. They remember, oh
yeah.
yeah, that skincare brand who wrote me the note. I'm gonna go and order their cream, their night cream because it was amazing. They might not remember your brand name, but you know, they'll be like, oh yeah, that person who wrote me the note, and then they'll think about it and then maybe go check their email. That's happened to me. I haven't remembered the name,
Yes.
but I'll go back and check my email, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I ordered it then, and you know, and then I can go and buy something. They'll think of you when it comes to like the gift giving season and they need to buy a gift for like a friend or you know their kids teachers or whoever. So I really feel like those small touches not only provides a good experience, but it makes you memorable. So then they buy more from you or they buy your product as a gift. So
No, I definitely agree with you on that. I feel like it does make it memorable, that little touch. And I've had people, yeah, message me, say they like, thank you for the handwritten note, or word of mouth, somebody be like, oh, they love the handwritten note. And I'm like, oh, okay. So it does make a difference. So my hand's not going numb for no reason.
yeah,
I'm writing so many. I feel like I have to learn how to like write not as hard and shorten my notes, because I have like a big stack that I'm looking at of thank you cards that I have to write. I have to get these orders that I have to write thank you cards for all
true.
these.
That's a lot of orders. Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm like, my hand hurts looking at that right now.
That's
But
awesome. So I'm just curious. So I always like to say, you know, like what is a cult like brand? And I think I have my own definition and like I have my own framework that I teach in my program, The Cultish Product. But I think a cult like brand is someone who, you know, has a cool story and possibly like a purposeful, not base business, but something about like something that their business does that helps people beyond just the product. I think a cult like brand is someone who's visible. Like you're not just on Instagram, you're not just on Etsy, you're on a bunch of places. People can find and discover you in a lot of places. So I would love for you just to share, how do people find you? Like how are you discoverable? How does someone find you just not on like Instagram or something? Because I know Instagram is everyone's fave. It's not mine, but it's everyone else's favorite.
I know Instagram is pretty big, and social media in general is like can be
Even for
exhausting.
skincare, I think for a skincare brand, is social media like you got to have it for sure. But
Yeah, definitely. I am 100% with you on that. Like without social media, I feel like it would be very hard to do what we do.
Mhm.
But yeah, I feel like a lot of it is word of mouth. So although I've been in business for a long time, it was a hobby for a really, really long time. And it wasn't until maybe like the last couple of years where it's picked up quite a bit. So I feel like there's still so much room for me to grow in that aspect where like finding me, need to work on SEO. I don't really know much about that, but, I think people are mainly finding me through word of mouth. So through friends, family, and yeah, social media like Instagram, Facebook. And so I still feel like Instagram is pretty big for me and have not gone TikTok route yet. But I
Mhm.
feel like word of mouth is how most people are discovering me.
Oh, that's so interesting. Remind me, I'll have a question for you, but I'll ask you after we finish recording.
Okay, okay.
Maybe it's more of a tip. Maybe it's more of a tip.
Okay, okay,
Um,
yes. I need to join your program.
no, and I'm not even like fishing for that, but I do
No,
have
no,
like,
but I was already looking at it. So,
but when someone says like people find you from word of mouth, I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, I have a tip for you. So, and that, here's the deal. It's totally fine for you not to be on every single channel or every single place. It's totally fine. But the fact that your customers are talking about you and telling their friends, telling their family about you, and then they're buying from you, that literally, like, that is gold. I mean, that is what every business owner's goal, one of their goals should be, literally, at least I think one of your goals should always
mhm.
be, get my customers to promote me for me. Because when you're
Yes,
doing that, they're actually marketing and selling your brand for you without you doing anything. Just because
yes.
I feel like you're like the textbook for my book, and that makes me really happy.
I know that's why I was reading your book. I was like, oh, okay, I'm doing this right.
I really like everything you're saying. I'm like, oh my gosh, I really love this conversation because, a lot of people, it's not that they're doing anything wrong. They're just not doing enough things to involve the customer and to kind of put the customer as the forefront. And I think you
Mhm.
really are doing like all the right things. But getting your customers to, it's, sort of like they're your brand evangelists. Like they're out there
Mhm.
saying, oh my gosh, you have to try this cream. Like they're texting their
Yeah.
best friend and saying, oh my gosh, I just bought this cream from Chanla. It's amazing. I found her on Instagram, and she's so cute, and she posts these little behind the scene videos, and I love her. So I bought her cream. And then it like trickles down. Then the friend gets it,
Yes.
and then they're telling a different
Yes.
friend, and they're posting about you on social media. Like that's kind of what you want. And, especially if you mentioned like, oh, it was a hobby for a while, like there's no shame in any of that. I mean, a lot of people who start businesses, they do it because they either are solving a pain point for themselves. Like just like you said, you
Mhm.
had skin issues when you were young. I did as well. So I can relate on all the things you were saying with like the proactive. I feel like proactive was the only thing that worked for me. But, you had a problem, you created a product as the solution and something that you really were passionate about, and then you did it for a while, and then you were like, okay, this is actually a business. And then so
Yep.
that's normal. And I think for so many people, they start businesses kind of as a hobby, and there's no,
Yes.
that's just the progression of a lot of things.
Yeah, you
um
start it because you like it or love it, and then it turns into something.
Yeah, but so many people are not getting that traction of getting customers to promote them. So I think that, when I hear someone say that, I'm like, okay, you're doing so many things right. And the other channels will follow. And like the other things that you can be doing to market your business will definitely come into place. But getting customers because people are busy, people are lazy. And
Yes.
think about how many times people have to probably ask you, hey, can you leave me a review?
Hmm.
Maybe multiple times. I know for me,
Right.
I'll love a product and I won't even, in my head, it won't even come to mind, oh, I should leave a review. Because you like the
Right.
product. You only complain
Yeah.
when you hate it. You're like, oh my God,
Yes.
I bought this dog bed on Amazon and it was a piece of shit and it was awful. Like you don't do
One
that in the
star.
product.
Yeah.
So my point here is like people are lazy and people are busy and people have their own things going on. And so for them to take the time and like talk about your stuff to friends and family and all that, like that just is such a huge thing. And I'm making a big thing of it on here because I want anyone listening to really understand the importance and the opportunity of what happens
Such a
when
big impact.
customers promote you, because that's a form of marketing. It's a form of free advertising. And you should
Hmm.
be like dying to get customers to talk about you. So anyway, well done. That's amazing. You're
Thank
doing
you.
so
Thank you. I
amazing.
actually have to piggyback off of that because I like met somebody in Chicago at a continuing education seminar and, connected. She followed me on Instagram. She ordered my serum. We really liked each other. She posted about the serum when she got it. Then one of her friends in a different state ended up, following me. And then after some time, ended up ordering my skincare, fell in love with it. We started talking back and forth, DMs every now and then. She'd reply to my stories or comment on my post, and I would use her name and everything. And so then she became a good customer and she became a brand ambassador, which we'll have to talk about because I love the affiliate program. I'm like, I wish I would have done it sooner. But so then I was going to Arizona to visit my sister for like a long weekend. And Trisha had just ordered something, a week prior. And I was like, oh, wait, I'm going to Arizona. And I was like, she lives in the same town. I was like, should I like, bring the product to her? Should we meet up and do like a quick product? And I was like, I don't know. I was him and Han. And I'm like, I'm just going to do it. So I sent her a message like the day before I went out there. And I was like, hey, um, I have your order ready, but I'm actually going to be in Scottsdale tomorrow. Can you meet up like before my sister and I go to lunch? And she was like, oh my gosh, yes. Because in the past, she'd always say, like, I wish I could make it to an event one day. I wish I could meet you in person. And then she's like, this is a dream come true. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I hope I don't disappoint her.
That's so
And so I
cute.
went out and as soon as she sent that message saying like she was so excited, I was like, I knew I made the right decision. Like I was like, I'm so happy.
Mhm.
I reached out to her, went out to Scottsdale, met up with her in front of the restaurant. My sister was like, "Oh my gosh, you guys were so loud. Did you like feel fake?" Because she was like, "Oh my gosh, it was just like so much fun to meet her in
Aw,
person." And we talked for a little bit, and she was incredible. And I was like on cloud nine after meeting her in this interaction. And
mhm.
so obviously she's continued to order products. She's a brand ambassador. I'm having this skincare party again on in December, and she's flying out for it. So she's flying
Wow.
out from Phoenix to Chicago to come to this skincare party because I feel like I've taken like really good care of her. And she's talked about the products to her friends, and now she's coming out. So I feel like this is like the most perfect like scenario I could ever dream of. So I'm super excited that she's coming out.
That's amazing. And I mean,
Thanks.
yeah, I think that's awesome that, again, like taking the time to message a customer that lives in a place and say, "Hey, I know I can ship this to you, but do you want to meet up in person?" I mean, think about how many people actually do that. None.
Yeah,
No one
none. And
does
it took like 5 minutes, and it could have been like a quick here you go, but
that.
she was so lovely that I just wanted to keep talking to her. So it's like
Yeah.
5 minutes of my time, and then that was probably like a really really important to her.
Yeah. Oh, I love that so much. And you mentioned brand ambassadors and affiliate marketing. I love affiliate marketing so much. So tell us what are you doing with that? How's it working for you? Yeah, I love
Yeah,
all of
yeah.
it.
So beginning of January, I ended up bringing on a sales rep who is local. Her name's Emily. She's amazing. She's a nutritionist, and she's got like, the reach. Anybody that I don't know, like she knows people that I don't know, and and so on. So I brought her on as a sales rep. So that's how it started, and then it went really well. Like we weren't sure how it would go. Went really well, and then in the summer, or maybe spring or sometime, summer, somewhere in there, I decided to do like affiliate marketing, which is still like a brand ambassador program for me. Opened that up, and then a lot of her people ended up signing up. And then her people were already sharing my stuff to begin with. So then it just continued to grow and grow. And now people who are using it are sharing and from their brand ambassador. And I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I'm like, I don't know where I'm going with this. I love the brand ambassador program. I feel like it has grown so much, and people are just spreading the word, and they already were. And so when I was like, can you open this up, and they applied and they got in, and it's just grown like so much. So I'm excited and hoping it can continue to get more and more people, because that has been huge for me. Just those people are reaching people that I don't have. And people listen to their friends when they're, telling them, hey, this skincare is good, or hey, this product is good, this Starbucks drink is good. Like, people listen to their friends. So I feel
Absolutely.
like it's been huge.
And so because so I think some people listening might not know what a brand ambassador like is. So what do you do for them? Is it they get I mean, I know what an affiliate marketing program is, but like, do they get a commission for promoting you? Do they get, and like you said, you brought on a sales rep. Is that someone who is trying to get people to join your affiliate program, or is she sort of like building like a network for wholesale accounts for you or something like that?
Yeah, so she is just reaching people that she knows. So she has like a much higher commission than the, affiliates. So she is just reaching out to all those people, and it would be actually a really good idea to get her to try and get more brand ambassadors. But so that's what she's doing, and she's done a great job at that. And then the affiliates or brand ambassadors, they're getting a small kickback. It's like a 5%, but then they're
Mhm.
also getting like the first to know. So I have like this email list that's them, and I'm like, hey guys, I'm coming up with a sugar scrub, and I would love your input on which design you like the best. Please vote. And so I'm having my brand ambassadors vote so they feel like they are making these. Okay, I don't know. Can I stand up real quick? I'm just going to grab this
Oh
box
yeah.
here.
Go
Um,
for
okay. So I was like, hey guys, I'm coming up with a sugar scrub. I had them vote on the scent. So they're very involved in it. Like, I had that on my stories. And then once we had come up with the scent, which was frosted sugar cookie, then I was like, hey, I'm coming up with the design with my designer. She sent me 4 designs. So I sent them to my brand ambassadors. Can you guys vote? So they got to vote, and then like, look at how cute. Like, so then they got to vote on like a
Cute.
little sugar scrub box, and so they felt like, so they're part of my
Mhm.
creating. And then they get like a pre-sale, so then they get to buy it like a week before everybody else does, and get a small, like, they get a discount on it. So there's definitely perks, even if they're not like necessarily actively selling. My program's not pushy. I don't want people to feel inauthentic or anything. I want them to, if they feel like selling something or talking about it, then they can. There's no like, you must post once a week. It's just, if you show up and you want to, share what you want to share, then that's what they do. And they've all been amazing. And I'm just so, I love this program. I'm like, this is the best thing ever.
Oh,
Because
that's
it's like you said, it's
awesome.
like they're marketing for me. They're taking the
Mhm.
videos, they're taking pictures, they're talking about it. People are sending people to my events that they can't make it to, but they will send their friends and family. So it's been really good.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. And I think sometimes too, like, like you said, you may not be marketing on a million places, but you've identified all these little pockets of opportunity for your business to get other people. And I love, this is my favorite type of marketing really, is like when other people are promoting you, not you doing it. Because there's only so much time in the day or energy for you to be creating content on
Mm-hmm.
social media or, writing blog posts or something. But when you get other people to do the marketing for you, the reach is just unreal. So I think that's amazing. And I definitely found a lot of success with brand ambassador programs with my first business as well. My business was in the pet space, and I think it's easy to find people who, I'll give you free toys and promote my business for me. I think it's easy to do it, especially in like the pet space, because everybody wants their dogs to be, Instagram famous and, all that kind of stuff. So my customer was an interesting breed, like literally interesting breed when I had that business. Like the
I
people were,
bet.
oh
And
my
like,
gosh, people were
dog people, like, obviously we love our dogs, but there's like people that those are their
oh,
babies. And like, I went to like a dog birthday party, and I was like, whoa, this is crazy. This is
yeah.
more than like what I would spend on my own children.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm a human mom, a dog mom first, because my little baby now is almost 12, and
Oh.
I'm obsessed with my dog. But even I was like, oh my holy hell! Like some of the customers I attracted, they were, like literally their entire life was their dog's Instagram account. I'm like, do people work? Do you do anything else? Do you
Yeah.
leave your house? They were
It's
special.
all about your dog.
Yeah, but I'm not saying anything bad because you know what? They were my people and they promoted my business for me and they made me get lots of sales. So,
Yes.
you need people like that and you want to find those people that are, almost as excited about your business as you are, which I think is kind of hard to find, but you will find those people if you invite them in and you're open to having like a brand ambassador or you know, I really like customer referral programs, but brand ambassador programs, especially when you have specific things like yours almost sounds really like almost really like VIP. Like you can come in, you can get discounts, you can get to order first, and you get to help kind of, you get to help, what's the word? Like map out what the product is. You get to help choose the scent, the packaging. Like that's really cool. I mean, someone would just love to be part of that. I would love to be part of that actually, just to like help shape a product. I think that's fucking awesome. So, anyway, I am very rambly today, but I think that's amazing. And I just think, yeah, you can find those little pockets of customer acquisition that work for you. And every business is different, but brand ambassadors are and affiliate programs, depending on what you're doing with it, they are such incredible ways of sorry, my dog just got surgery and I'm like, oh my God, I hope she's not trying to go up the stairs because I've locked it off.
No, you can go check on
My
her.
other dog. My other dog. She's been
Okay,
whining.
I'm like,
She's been
don't go up
whining.
the stairs.
No, I put a baby gate up and I'm like, oh my God, did she get through the gate? It's my other
Did
dog.
she jump past
Oh
it?
my God. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. No, but I like to your point is like for when brand ambassadors are so excited, I
yes.
feel like when they first join is when there's the most like push. They're excited. Their people want to support them. So I give them like not a script, but I'm like, here's some things you can say. Like, I've been using this product for so long. You can name your favorite product, why you love it, why you love the brand, and get excited about it. And when people share something new and exciting,
Mhm.
I feel like other people are curious and they're excited. And they're like, oh, Carrie's a
Yeah.
brand ambassador. Oh, she must really like this product. Or, oh, this is new. She seems really enthusiastic and it piques curiosity. And curiosity can lead to followers, which can lead to sales. So I think finding that excitement in new brand ambassadors is awesome.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. And I feel like you can do a lot with the brand ambassador program to like grow it and just incentivize people. But I like that you gave them not like even if it's on a script, but just here are our key selling points. Here's how, we appreciate you marketing our brand for us. Like we're so grateful. Here's a way to make it easier for you. So I love when affiliate programs do that. I definitely don't personally join a lot of affiliate programs, but the ones that do like primarily pure, for example, is someone that I don't actually use their affiliate thing. I to be honest, I think I signed up just to like see what they were doing a couple years ago,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
because I think their marketing is genius and I love the brand, I like their product, but I always am curious what people are doing behind the scenes, so I like to sign up for things sometimes just to like check it out.
Oh, for sure.
Right. And it's just like, hey, it's market research. We all have different things that we need
A
to know.
100%. Especially
But
if somebody's doing it so well, like you want to know what they're doing and
yeah, but
get the
they
behind
do
the
a good
scenes.
job. They don't send scripts or anything, but like they do a good job of just saying, here's why people should buy. Here's what makes us special. Here's what makes us unique. And I think if you can do that, if you have a brand ambassador program or you have an affiliate program, like how do you make it easy for people to promote you? I was part of this like summit thing recently and you know they made it so easy to promote the summit. They were like, here's the script, here's what to say, here's how to do this. And I love that because I'm doing a million things at the time and I have no interest in trying to figure out what to say about this stupid summit. Just tell me what it is and I'll promote
Yeah.
it because I'm one of the speakers. But like when people don't make it easy for you to talk about it, then they're not going to talk about it. So I think that's awesome that you kind of just identified like, here's how we can kind of make it easier for the brand reps to like actually talk about the brand because they don't know you like you do, they don't know your
Mhm.
selling points like you do.
Yeah, and I think it makes it a little bit easier for them because some people don't know what to say. Like even like what you're saying, like I have a hard like sometimes it takes like forever to come up with a post, and if it's already
Oh
kind of
yeah.
how,
Yeah.
like there's a guideline. You just got to say, okay, these are my favorite products and this is why I love
Mhm.
it. Then it makes it
Yeah.
easier for them and they feel like they're doing something right, you know, because when you're
Yeah.
signing up for something new, I feel like it can be a little intimidating and they're not unsure what to say or what to post and don't want to do anything wrong. And so the little guideline definitely helps for
Yeah.
sure.
No, I agree. Um, okay, cool. Well, I feel like you shared so many good tips and like cool things about your business and why people love you. And I can totally understand just from having the conversation here why your customers, definitely are obsessed with your brand. I think
Oh,
you've made
thanks.
it clear that you definitely make a huge effort to make your customers, feel special and just provide a really good experience for them. So I think that's amazing. It's like
Thank
my
you.
love language. Tell everyone where they can find you. I do have one more question.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me ask you a question, and then at the end, just tell everyone where they can find you,
Okay.
and where they can buy your products. But I want to
Okay.
ask you one more question. So I know so many people that will say, "Okay, I have an idea for a product, but," and then they're going to throw in an excuse of why they shouldn't do it. And the number one, and I don't want to say excuse, but it sort of is, oh, there's already too many skincare brands. I'm using yours as an example. There's already too many skincare brands doing it. So why would anyone buy my stuff? I'm just curious for anyone listening that's like, I kind of want to I mean, most people listening have a business, but for anyone here who's listening that does not have a
Yes.
business that is inspired to start their own brand, what would you say that, for someone again who's interested in starting a business but is scared that it's already too saturated, what advice would you tell them?
I love this question because I feel like fear holds so many people back, but I would
Mhm.
tell them to just start, just do it. You are the difference between everything. So people, if you're building a personal brand, they're buying from you. And nowadays I feel like people, these big companies, they want to show more faces. They want to see the people want to buy from you, not necessarily this brand. Like it could be this faceless brand, but when you put your brand and your story behind it, people are going to be more likely in wanting to buy it. And if you're hesitant because it's too saturated, there are a million skincare brands out there, but people could choose to buy from you because they want to buy from you, not necessarily. There's a million serums. There's probably 5 million serums out there. They're buying it because they want to get it from you. They want to support you. You'd be surprised, just starting is the biggest thing. I think that would be key. But just putting yourself out there, giving it a try, not giving up because it can be hard. Like business is hard, and just keeping up with it and being consistent and showing up and just starting. I think is so important because you never know what it could turn into. You never know. Like I never thought I would be, I remember my husband saying, "Oh, you like $1,000 a day. That's going to be easy for you." And I thought he was crazy. I did not believe him. And now I would make money in my sleep. And so I'm like, okay, like I get it. But like, I just feel like people just need to just kind of break out of their shell and just try it because you never know what's going to happen. You could make $1 million a year and you just never know.
I love that. No, it's so true. I mean, you have to have the initiative and drive. And I think also, the understanding that it's not going to be easy, and like knowing that it's not going to be easy and knowing that you're going to commit to like making it no matter what. And I think there's so many people, like I say this all the time, like there's like these YouTubers that are always like, oh, you can make $1 million a day working 1 hour, just buy my course and you don't have to do anything and you'll make six figures in your sleep.
Yeah.
There's so many of those people out there and I just want to punch them all in the face because I hate them
Yeah.
and they are like ruining it for everyone else. Because then Susan
Oh,
starts
they
a
are.
business, she has a business for 6 months and she's like, oh my God, I'm not growing. What's wrong with me? Let me go buy this course and this program and this program. And it's really just, she hasn't, and then she decides to close a year later because her business isn't working when in fact she just maybe needed to keep going and
a
keep learning,
hundred percent.
find a
Oh,
mentor that's already done the things that you want and learn from them. Like there's so many things that you can do, but like quitting after a year or 6 months, I think the problem is that people like the YouTubers and all these dumb people, like I can make you $1 million in 6 months if you just actually no,
no.
it's never 6 months. It's like I can get you $1 million in 3 weeks if you just buy my program. And
Yeah,
it's just,
yeah. Or 100,000 followers in a week. No.
yes, and they're making it impossible for the new person starting to have the patience and perseverance to put in the work of growing a business, because that's what it
Hmm.
takes. I mean, you could be at this for years and then all of a sudden it just works.
Yes,
But
and I feel like that's what it's been like for me. But those people out there, those coaches that are selling those courses and saying, I can make you a millionaire, and it is, people they see that and then they're discouraged and then they quit. And
yeah,
it's like, no, like, just
yeah.
please stick with it. And you never know, like, it can eventually take off. Just keep putting in the work. But it's discouraging to see because I feel like that's showing up everywhere nowadays. And I'm just like, oh, scroll, unfollow, or, you
Oh, it's
know,
so annoying. I think the algorithms know that I don't know what it is, because I get targeted for those all the time, and I'm like, seriously, like, piss off.
you're like,
And
just stop.
I just want to report all these people. I just think what they're doing isn't ethical, and I hate it. It makes me so mad, honestly. So
No,
anyway,
me too. It's frustrating for
so
sure.
frustrating. Just because I end up, helping the people who are like, I bought this course and it said I would make this much money and it hasn't worked. And then they think, oh, it's me. I'm the problem. My product is the problem. And it's not. It's just that you have unrealistic expectations, which maybe isn't your
Yeah,
fault, but like your business probably isn't going to turn into $1 million business in 1 year, just because.
exactly. That's very rare that it happens, you
Yeah,
know.
that program that, like, there's one person I'm thinking of in particular. I'm not going to say her name, but I somehow discovered her, and now I get targeted for everything that she sells. And she started a hair, like, product
Scrunchy
business.
business.
I
Okay,
don't
I
know
think
if
I
it's
know
a
who you're
scrunchie.
talking
I want
about.
to say hair scrunchie, and I really should stop. But she has a hair business, and oh my god, I think she's kind of interesting, but also like predatory, like, because I've listened to her talk about stuff, and she's trying to sell her course, and she literally, like, verbatim will say, "Oh, you just find a product and it's so easy. It's so easy." And she said the word "it's so easy." It was like a training video where she's trying to sell her course on how to start a business. And I was actually shocked at the amount of times where she said, "Oh, it's so easy." Like, "Oh, look at this person. They did this Etsy shop and now they're making 20 fucking figures and blah blah blah." Like, "Oh, it's so
Lies.
easy." And I
No,
just feel
I
like
hate
it
that.
makes me so mad, and I really should just do a podcast episode not on this person, but just these people that are trying to sell stuff and
Yeah,
make like, for me, I never tell people, "Oh, it's so easy to make money." I'll
it's
say,
not. And
you can set up systems like email automations and affiliate marketing, customer loyalty, and that will help you make money while you're sleeping, or like it'll help you start semi-passive channels. But like, I never
mhm,
tell people, "Oh, this is so easy." I actually tell people, "No, it's a fucking lot of work." So
this
it
is
makes
so
me
much work.
really mad when I hear people that are like, "Buy my course and it's so easy." Oh, it's so easy to start a business and make 7 figures. So anyway, I
No.
don't want to
And
get into
it's
it.
so funny you say that because I think if it's the same person, I like joined her free course and I laughed in the middle of the course. I was like, this is
Oh, no.
bullshit. Like, I can't believe I can't waste any more time watching this. This is all lies. Cause she's like, it's so easy. Find like this business from China and just order here and then have it
Oh
drop
my
shipped or whatever, you know,
God.
ship it yourself and make $1 million. I started with $300 in my account and I'm like, okay, maybe
Yeah.
you did, but I'm
Oh
like,
my
no, like and then I think they sent like a message in probably like one of her people, or they see people leave. It's an automated thing saying, hey, we see you left the training early. And I was like, I didn't
God.
respond, but I was like, it
Of
was just
course
like
they
such a
do.
waste. And I feel bad because I'm sure so many people buy into that. And that's the sad
Mhm.
thing. And then they buy into it. Like, of course, that sounds amazing. But then when you don't do it, like you said, you get discouraged and just down on yourself. And I think people should know, like, I listened to Erica years and Erica's, like, it can be a slow growth and that's totally
Mhm.
okay. And it's normal.
Yeah. Oh, I love that episode. She killed it. She did so good.
She's amazing. That was like probably one of my favorites. She was just so real and genuine and like calm. And I'm
So
like, I,
genuine.
I loved it. I loved every minute.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love Erica. I'm like obsessed with her and her cake toppers. I think she's amazing. So,
She
yeah,
is.
slow and steady, sustainable growth is it might not be what you want, but that actually is more realistic of
Hmm.
what your business will look like. Like no one, like my first, I feel like I'm going way off topic here. When I had my product business, my first year, I don't remember what I made in sales, not profit. Sales, I don't know, maybe like 60,000 or under. I have no idea. I'm literally pulling a number out. And then the next year it was significantly higher. And then
Hmm.
the third year was the most. It was, a couple 100,000 in sales. But it took three
It's
years. I didn't
amazing.
start off with this is my product business, not my current business. But it it didn't start off with the couple $100,000.
Yeah.
It started off with not that much money at all. My first month, I actually did a video on this, and I actually went back to my P&Ls and I found the actual numbers. I'm just blanking because my brain is literally not working today. But my first month in business, I think I made like it was like maybe 300 or something.
Yeah.
And it was because I launched, an e-commerce store and a subscription service. So I got a couple people that bought 12-month subscriptions. But the
Okay.
point is like, growth takes time. Okay, I'm going to stop talking about this because I feel like I need to do a podcast episode. I have a lot of thoughts about this topic, and I
No,
feel like I need
I
to.
would love to join you on another. I feel like we could talk all day. I love all these topics.
I know. I love it so much. Okay, cool. Well, let everyone know where they can find you and where they can buy your amazing products, and I can't wait to buy mine.
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram at Chanla Chau Cosmetics. Same thing with Facebook. And my website is chanlachaucosmetics.com.
Amazing. Thank you so much. It was so awesome to have you on here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yay.